What's up guys, welcome to Voicey here. This is your host, Captain Zach, and today's subreddit is r/TalesOfNeckBeards. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode. This story is called First Neckbeard Encounter. This may sound weird, but for the past month, I've been a bit of a lurker on this sub, and have also watched those Reddit videos about neckbeard or nice guy stories on YouTube. And I guess my curiosity had to shove karma, or manifesting, or whatever, right in my face. Last night, I had my first neckbeard encounter, and hopefully it'll be my last despite his last couple of words he said to me. Also, sorry for bad formatting, or if I ramble too much, I'll put a tilde at the end. For a bit of context, I'm a waitress at a mainstream seafood restaurant. While some of our plates are about $40, we've been doing these early bird specials that are around $15. As I always work the dinner shift, the first 2 hours of my shift always have some weirdos or questionable people who want a cheaper meal. But that's fine. I try to be kind and do well at my job. My section was in the bar and I was in charge of 5 tables. It was a slow night and I was hyped up on Red Bull, so when I went to greet Neckbeard, I may have been too friendly? Whenever someone sits alone, I try to be cheery and not judge them. This man was wearing shorts and a t-shirt of nearly the exact same color, and while they were fairly clean, they were definitely worn down. Also, he hadn't shaved in a while, which I actually think looks worse despite the fact his hair didn't even reach up past his chin. He was an older man and overweight, but he didn't smell, and so I guess I couldn't complain. He also had thinning hair that was graying, so I'm guessing he was around 40? I asked how he was doing, and he straight up told me he was having a bad day because of the wind. This threw me off because it wasn't that windy, but I just tried to smile and told him that I was going to take good care of him. It was just part of our introduction. Instead of saying, "I'm your waiter," our managers say it's better to say, "I'll be taking care of you today," because a happy guest is more likely to spend more. I didn't think much of it, but that was when his melancholy demeanor changed. As I was trying to get his drink order, he was staring so very hard at my chest. He tried playing it off as if he was looking at my name tag, but my name tag is blank. But whatever, maybe he had forgotten my name already, that's fine, and he could have been short-sighted. I get his drink, everything is going fine, and then I try to get his order. I still feel like he's staring at my chest, which is kind of funny because I always wear baggy clothes for this exact reason, so I know he couldn't even really see much of anything. But he's not saying anything weird yet. When I drop off his salad and drink refill and ask if he needs anything, he gets weird.
"No, I don't need anything, but I'm so sorry, I didn't bring you anything."
What?
"Your Valentine's Day gift. I always give pretty girls who are nice to me a gift. I just don't have anything in my car today."
Oh, no, you don't have to do that.
"There's these 2 girls I go to see at sports bar every week, and I always give them something. There was a Black Friday sale for those eternity roses, and it was buy 4, get 4. So now I have 8 roses, and I'm gonna give it to them next week. But if I knew you were gonna be my waitress, I would have brought one. And a card. I have 16 Valentine's cards that I got at Dollar Tree."
Oh, I'm sure they'll appreciate that. That's nice of you to do that for them. I need to go check on something in the kitchen. I'm sure Neckbeard couldn't tell, but I had gotten a bit pale. I just don't appreciate getting hit on. I took time in the kitchen, avoided his table a little bit, and then brought out his food. Our kitchen was being lame and we had to wait on baked potatoes for 3 minutes. Avoided him until I had to bring out his potato and asked if he needed anything. I kept calling him sir just to be polite, and he told me he just wanted me to call him Steve. Once again, I started feeling a bit icky. I told him I wouldn't because I wanted to be polite and uphold the standards of my job.
"Well, you should just call me by my name. Since my mother died, I came back here, but I just couldn't make any friends. Here, let me show you something."
He pulls out his wallet and pulls out 2 photos to show me. Both of them are him posing with 2 different young girls not wearing much. He has a thing for brunettes, I guess.
"These are the girls I told you about."
He is very excited and I am just feeling more uncomfortable.
"There's some great girls. I usually go there because of the $5 tacos. They're the half-boneless wings. But I came here because I wanted to try this out. I'm glad I did."
I could only stutter that I needed to do something for one of my other tables and that I hope he enjoyed his food. When I went back into the kitchen, I told the bartender that the man was giving me the creeps. Everyone at my job knows I'm jumpy, but the moment I told him about the pictures he keeps in his wallet, which weren't the most pristine and looked like he pulled them out often. The bartender even looked worried. I hate any sort of confrontation. If Neckbeard asked for my number and pressed me for it, I don't think I could say no. So we just gave my manager a heads up, and my manager told me to try and avoid Neckbeard as much as possible. Avoiding him was good, I think. At the end, though, he pestered me, asking all these useless questions. How does this app work? How do the Prestos work? Why isn't my card working? He had to use his chip and kept swiping it, etc. He was eating up a lot of my time, and I felt like he was purposely trying to keep me at his table. He told me he works at Dell, which I don't really believe, and said how he was a computer whiz and would give me amazing discounts if I wanted. I rejected his offer and said that I had built my own PC, so I was good. This soured him a little, and then asked if I liked Ulta. All I said to that was, sure. Then he started mentioning how the food wasn't that great, blah blah blah.
Well, I gave you an 18% tip.
Thank you, I really appreciate it.
I usually don't give more than 15%, but I always give the girls something extra. I'm sorry if I don't have anything for you today, but I'm gonna come back next week to give you your gift.
You don't need to give me anything, sir.
No, I do. You've just been so kind, and I just told you how I have all this stuff to give other people. I'll be back next week, I promise.
I just nodded my head, too flabbergasted to say anything. Obviously, my refusals weren't reaching him, and really, I don't want a creepy card from him. I'd rather have the $3 he left me as a tip. I just went into the kitchen, and since he had paid, I didn't go back to his table at all. After 10 minutes of him sitting there and me pretending like I couldn't see him, and the bartender now asking if he needed help, he could just ask them, and Neckbeard left. It was only when he was gone that I relaxed, and I hadn't even realized how tense I was. Everyone could see a change in me because they said I looked pale and sick. One of my other tables left me a very generous tip and told me I deserved it, and while it may be because I give excellent service, I think it was because they were all women and could tell I wasn't having the best time with Neckbeard being my guest. Plus, I wouldn't be surprised if he was obviously checking me out when I walked away, considering his blatant staring at my chest. I really hope he doesn't come back next week. He knows my name for sure, because at the end he would just call me by my name and say things like, "Thank you, Opie," or "Opie, come here, I have something to ask you," etc. I guess this is what Neckbeard turned into. I'm curious, I'm sure a lot of you guys have been waiters or waitresses before or currently are. 1. How often do you have to deal with creeps? Because I would imagine it's pretty often, because creeps like to eat and, they can eat their food and also prey on innocent young waiters or waitresses, because that's their cup of tea. This story's called Moo and the Suffering Bastard. Hello once again, friends, it's me, Moonhorse. Thanks for reading my nonsense once more. The overview for this Neckbeard wasn't as good as the Kevin one, and let me explain for a bit. Every time I tried to just give a look into this particular beardo's mentality, it would be related to a story that I wanted to tell, so I'd have to stop myself. No spoilers, you know? We don't have that issue anymore, however. Now is the time I tell you the tale of Moo and his computer. So in the last one, I mentioned how I met Moo and his situation. This takes place around those times as well. He's still living at home with his family, but his ex has moved out and is no longer there. As such, Moo spends most of his time either on the PC or on his Xbox. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, he's upset because she moved out. Well, not exactly. See, he was happier when she left because she'd also have to use the computer, and now he has it all to himself. Mostly. But the computer. Oh, this computer. Let's go way back to the day I had to see it in all of its glory. Mainly because that's what this story is about. Out of all the Neckbeards I knew, I was the most technically adept person. The computer guy, if you will. Every group seems to have someone like that, car person, computer person, and so on. That's why when Moo's PC started turning off, I was called.
It just keeps turning off.
What do you mean, like shutting down?
No, like, I'm in game, and then I go and, like, get, like, a snack, and then turn around and it's off.
Oh, sounds like an overheat maybe?
Can you look at it?
I mean, sure, but if it's an overheat, you usually just need to move it so it can breathe better.
I did that. Just come fix it, please.
So I prepared myself for this. See, like I said before, Moo and his family are big-time hoarders. Their house always had an odor and always looked like a storm just hit it. I wasn't really wanting to do this, but this is my friend at the time, so suffer through, I guess. I show up and he has to show me where the PC is. I passed his desk several times but never saw the actual computer itself. There was so much garbage and crap you just couldn't. This computer was, in fact, suffocating. It was sitting in what I can only describe as a small cocoon of years-old garbage. Old soda bottles, chip bags, cigarette packs, food wrappers, you name it. My first instinct was to take this old gateway out back and shoot it, end the suffering bastard's misery. But not my PC, so I'm ready to get to work. So I need you to help me unhook the cables. I don't see where anything is plugged in.
What? It's right there. You're closer.
Yeah, I get that, but I can't see. It's kind of dark down here. Can you please just unhook it?
Why do you even need to do that?
Well, if it's overheating like you said, the cooling units and fans probably need cleaning as well. This is a good time to do that.
I never had to do that before.
For those of you who are also technically adept, you probably just shuddered. Let me make it worse. This computer is, yes, a gateway, and not a new one. There's no telling the manner of filth I'm about to run into. Usually it's dust, sometimes pet hair if the person has pets. This machine was cocooned in filth for years. But good friends press on, yeah? So I did. Eventually, I had to unhook everything with a flashlight in my teeth to see under the desk. It was worse than I thought, but I got the damn thing unhooked. At this stage, Moo had decided he was standing around and waiting too long, so he went off to play Xbox. Without telling me, of course. There's no telling how long I was talking to no one. He's a classy, gentle sir like that, man. So it's just me and the suffering bastard, as I've taken to calling his PC. I pull it from the cocoon, and of course the mess collapses. Shrug and deal with that later. I gotta see what's gunking up the works. Now, the whole time I'm getting this panel off, I'm still thinking it'll be mostly dust. Opening it up reveals enough dust to fill a pillow with. Comfortably. Lovely. A little canned air and some tiny tools, and I'm cleaning like a mad bastard when I notice something on the tiny fan on his video card. Something that looks like a broken wire jutting from it. A blackened one, too. This must be one of the reasons he's getting overheat warnings and stuff. I think as I grab the wire with some tweezers to get it loose. It just comes right off. Frick! I just broke this man's computer. As you can imagine, I'm panicking a bit because if there's one thing you don't do, it's break a neckbeard's PC. The rees will never end. But wait, that wire looks weird and crooked and short. And that's a roach's leg. Oh, please God, no, what the heck? Yeah, as it turns out, the final straw was that a roach had somehow fallen into or climbed onto the fan and left behind parts of itself in said fan. So after going to vomit in his backyard because I freaking hate roaches, I get the parts free. Everything clean, reset, replaced, and trash scooped into a bin. Now is the moment of truth. All the stuff is hooked up and powered on just fine. Everything is looking good, yeah? Well, it's still really slow, so because we're friends, I decide to run some antivirus and defrag on the suffering bastard. This will take a while, but the antivirus was already finding hits. Lots of them, in the same folder. Weird. So I pull the folder, and to this day, I will never be the same man. No amount of booze could ever burn the horrors I witnessed from my brain, and believe me, I tried. That was the day that I learned that Moo was into lowly bondage hentai, the extreme kind. Thousands upon thousands of images. Then there was a single folder that was labeled Do Not Open. Listen, if you ever want someone going through your PC to absolutely open something, call it Do Not Open. It's instinct, really. I wish it wasn't. I opened it. What I saw made me part of a very exclusive club of people in the neckbeard, legbeard story writing reading community. You don't know Strange until you stumble across a legbeard's nudes. I Alt F4 like a mother lover and leave the automated crap to finish up. Eventually, after recovering a bit, I make my way back to talk to Moo. Your PC is fixed. I'm running some antivirus and a defrag on it. Make it faster and stuff, you know?
Oh yeah, thanks.
When was the last time you did that, anyhow?
I thought it was automatic.
Not unless you tell it to be.
So I guess I never did it.
Well, this might take a while. If you're thinking to yourself that he didn't let either finish and close them so he could play more games, you're absolutely right. This is just the first part of the Moose stories. I'll have more with more of his involvement in the future. I just thought you might all enjoy this little monstrosity. There will be more Kevin as well. Thanks for all your support and love. Love ya, Moonhorse. FBI? Yeah, that's the guy right here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.